Chief, and can I begin by saying what I said earlier on today, which is, of course, on behalf of all of the people of Toronto, to express our condolences and to say that our thoughts and prayers are with all of the people who have been victimized by this, the families and friends of those who have succumbed and those who are injured in hospital. I should say that there's been a tremendous outpouring of sympathy and of concern from across the country, from people in cities right across Canada, and I think it's evidenced as well by the fact that we have here present the Premier of Ontario, the Minister of Community Safety, the Honourable Ralph Goodale, and that I heard and spoke with the Prime Minister earlier this evening, who expressed his sincere condolences to the people of Toronto and to all the families of those affected by this, and offered, as I'm sure the Minister will do, as he's done to me personally, their complete support in any way that they can to address this. The second thing that I want to do is to once again thank the first responders. Their job is far from over, but in the early chapters of this afternoon, when this came, as the Chief said, as a 911 call and on a beautiful spring afternoon, they responded in a heroic fashion. They did their very best and continue to do their very best, and of course the police work involved in all of this has really just begun. And I reiterate the Chief's request. Really is it a plea to the people of Toronto that anybody who thinks they know anything, even if it seems very small and immaterial, please use the telephone line or use Crime Stoppers to report that information, because this will help the police to get to the bottom of this tragic incident. I should say, and the police chief will have further news on this later this evening, that people should expect, in the context of this particular area of the city tomorrow, that it will still be an active investigation scene, and that we would discourage people who don't have to come here from coming here, because whatever is going on and however the breadth of that area that's affected, it will not be normal tomorrow. And so if people can be considerate of that, we will have further news later on the status of the street and the transit and the businesses, and indeed the seat of government here at North York Civic Centre. I should say that it's my expectation, because I'll move a motion tomorrow morning, that the City Council by law will be required to convene because the meeting was called, but I will be moving a motion that it should adjourn for the day out of respect for those who have lost their lives and for this tragic incident that affected our city. And finally, I will just say to people that I hope that they will understand, as I know they do, people who live in the city, who have come to the city from around the world. This kind of tragic incident is not representative of how we live or who we are, or anything to do with life in the city on a day-to-day basis, and that I hope people will reflect on that, will reaffirm that, will go to work tomorrow and perhaps offer, as sometimes is the case in churches, a sign of peace to each other, just in some small way, to acknowledge that we're going to carry on with heavy hearts, but that we're going to carry on with a life that is admired around the world, and that we will do that in the way that Torontonians do things. And so I just am very hopeful with all the help of everybody so far that has expressed their concern, that people will take that to heart as well, and make sure that we remain in solidarity with our first responders, with those who have to investigate, but most of all with each other.